definitely exciting. It's probably overall the most talent we've had in a while. It's like every sport says though, Bill. On paper, things look great, and there's still the work to do, the season to go through. A lot of things can happen, and there's so many talented teams over the years in athletics that just never got to their potential, not being able to put things together, keep the dynamic where it should be, and do that stuff. So I think that's the big focus. The talent's certainly there to be very successful, and there's no question that's exciting. It's exciting to see that in the pool, and we just need it all to come together and keep doing what we're doing, and I think it'll be a really exciting year for us.
Swimming's an interesting sport because you put in a lot of work and you don't automatically see it right then and there. So I think it's a really interesting aspect that our sport, sometimes you can put in a lot of work and you're not going to see it until down the road. So it's really important that we stay motivated and keep everyone's heads up, even if they don't see their work paying off right away. It will happen at the end, and that's one aspect that I think is really important for leading a successful team, is that keeping in mind that each step that you put in, each hard practice you do, everything you do counts, and it may be turns or starts, but that little change and that little effort that you put in each day is really going to make a difference in the end. And that's one aspect that we try to remind our teammates about and really try to motivate each other on.
It was a good year last year, and we want to make this one even better. And I think that the freshmen coming in understand that goal and realize that we need each other's support every day at practice, at the meets, and to push each other to work hard and get through this season. Even though it's really long towards the end, it gets really challenging to keep yourself in the sport and keep motivated, because we have so many months in winter training here alone, and this whole team together really keeps each other motivated to push through and be able to finish on a strong note as well as start on a strong note.
Yeah, it's I think one of our deeper teams, especially in those stroke events, like you said. I feel like we're 3 or 4 people deep in each event, and the conference this year on the women's side, we're going to be scoring to 24 places, which is a change. And so I think that's really going to help us, because I think we have several individuals that can be not just in that 24, but that top 16 mark. We are deeper than we've been. Freestyle, we're maybe not as deep in certain events, but I think we have the potential to get there and move some people around and make some shifts. And if we do that, we're pretty balanced. And again, a lot of things have to go right for us, and get through a lot of things through the year. But the potential is definitely there. Sometimes a challenging word for coaches to use, but it's there, and at least that's the exciting part.
I think this year we're really working on motivating each other and staying motivated throughout the season. We made a motivational quote board that we put up basically a few weeks ago to try and keep each other energized and ready. This first meet's kind of tough because it's right at the beginning, and we haven't had too much time in the water, but definitely have had some tough practices. So we want to keep people motivated, even if they don't do their best, that it's definitely coming throughout this season.
Because you do have a lot of time to think to yourself. We're underwater for most of our practices, so it's really you and yourself, and you're your only limit. But the motivation that we get from our teammates is really important and crucial in our success, because we're all different people. This is a co-ed team. It's a lot of 40 different people with different attitudes, different aspects, and we really do a nice job of all coming together and motivating each other, which I think is a really interesting aspect of this team and Ship's swimming program. I think Verge does a really nice job of bringing in all our different personalities and really making it work, and I think that's almost the reason why we are really successful, is because we're able to work with each other and really motivate each other and come together to be successful.
Yeah, I think team is always one. We there's nobody in our conference that goes in and wins the conference championship with 2 people. So everybody's importance, and kind of accepting that, and being good about competition within the team, and pushing each other and challenging each other and supporting each other, and really celebrating success, your teammates, that kind of thing. We really talk a lot about that. The accountability, holding each other accountable, making good decisions, focusing on the right things. And I think we have a really tremendous group of women right now that are very mature, and I think are doing a great job of that. So, if we can kind of keep along those lines and keep working at just those few simple things, we'll be in good shape. Really competing well, and going in with a good mindset, a mindset of we are a good team. making the most of the opportunities that we have. When we're in a race. Same thing is with the men. There's little things. Are we aggressive on the walls? Are we a great finishing team? Are we winning races down the stretch? Whether it's to win the race or fifth, sixth position, are we out battling other people, and how well are we racing? So I think a lot of that determines technically what we're doing, how we're doing things in practice, and I also think it kind of gives us a little bit of a show of our toughness. Are we willing when things are tired and we're hurting a little bit, as some of these dual meets can be? Are we able to kind of out-tough other people? So it'll be a good test for us. We have some great teams coming up in the fall, and it'll be exciting to get an idea of where we're at.